Hello! We're excited to show you our native speech capabilities. Welcome back to the English journey. Today, we are talking about the little conversations that lead to big friendships, small talk. I'm Anna.
And I'm Abel. I used to be terrified of talking to strangers because I didn't know what to say. Today, we're going to give you the exact English phrases to use so you never feel awkward again.
That is right. And if you are new here, welcome to our channel, Mr. English Fluent Tutor. This is a slow English podcast, which means we speak slowly and clearly so that you can understand every single word. You can follow along, repeat after us, and practice your English in a very natural way.
Yes, and today's topic is so important, small talk. It sounds simple, right? Just a little conversation. But for many English learners, and honestly for many native speakers too, small talk can feel really difficult. I know it did for me.
Before we begin, we want to remind you to watch this video at a comfortable speed. You do not need to rush. Language learning is a journey, not a race. So relax, take a breath, and let's start talking about small talk.
So Anna, let's start at the very beginning. What exactly is small talk? Because I think a lot of people hear that word and they think it means unimportant talk. Like, why do we even bother?
That is such a great question, Abel. And you are right that many people think small talk is not important. But actually, small talk is one of the most important social skills you can learn. Let me explain what it is first. Small talk is a short, light, friendly conversation that you have with someone you do not know very well. It can happen anywhere, at a bus stop, at a coffee shop, at work, at a party, or even in an elevator.
And it is usually about easy topics, like the weather, or the weekend, or the place you were both standing in.
Exactly. And here's the key thing to understand. When you make small talk, the topic does not really matter. It's not really about the weather, it's not really about the coffee. The real purpose of small talk is to make another person feel comfortable, to say, hey, I'm friendly, you are safe with me, we can talk.
Oh, I love that way of thinking about it. It's like a social handshake. You know how when you meet someone, you shake hands? Small talk is the verbal version of that. You are saying hello to someone's personality before you really get to know them.
Yes, that's a perfect way to say it, a verbal handshake. And once you understand that the goal is not to be interesting or funny or smart, but simply to be warm and friendly, small talk becomes so much less scary.
I really wish someone had told me that years ago. When I was younger, I used to think that I needed to say something really clever or really interesting. And because I was so worried about that, I would just say nothing at all. I would stand in a corner at a party and just look at my phone.
Oh, I think so many people can relate to that, Abel. And there's a word for that uncomfortable feeling. The word is awkward. Awkward. Can everyone say that with me? Awkward. It means uncomfortable, embarrassing, or difficult in a social situation. Have you ever been in an awkward silence with someone where nobody's talking and it feels uncomfortable?
Yes, absolutely. That awkward silence is exactly what small talk is designed to fix. Instead of standing in silence, you can say one simple sentence, and suddenly the tension is gone.
And the good news is that small talk is a skill, and all skills can be learned with practice. You were not born knowing how to ride a bicycle, right? You learned it, you practiced it, and now it feels natural. Small talk is exactly the same.
That is so true, and I'm living proof of that. I went from being a person who is terrified of starting conversations to someone who actually enjoys meeting new people. And it happened because I learned some simple phrases and I started using them.
So let us talk about the first and most important part of small talk, the safe topics, because not all topics are good for small talk. Some topics are great for when you first meet someone, and some topics are better for when you know someone well.
Right, and choosing the wrong topic can make things awkward very quickly. I remember once I asked someone how much money they made at their job within the first 5 minutes of meeting them, and the look on their face told me everything. That was not the right question to ask.
Oh no, Abel. Yes, we are definitely going to talk about those kinds of mistakes later. But first, let's talk about the best, safest topics for small talk. And the number one topic in English-speaking cultures is the weather.
The weather. People always laugh about this, right? English people especially love talking about the weather. But why? Why is the weather such a popular topic?
Because everyone experiences the weather. It doesn't matter who you are, how old you are, how much money you have, or where you come from. If it's raining, you're both getting wet. If it's sunny and beautiful, you're both enjoying it. The weather is something you share with the other person in that moment. It's what we call common ground, something you both have in common.
Common ground. I like that phrase. And it also gives you an easy way to start a conversation without being personal or private. You're not asking about someone's life, you're just talking about the sky.
Exactly. And there are some really simple phrases you can use to start a weather conversation. You can say, "Beautiful day, isn't it?" Or, "Can you believe this rain?" Or, "It's so cold today. How are you staying warm?" These are all natural, friendly ways to start talking.
And notice that those phrases aren't really questions that need a long answer. They're more like invitations. You're inviting the other person to agree with you or to share their own thought.
Yes, that's a wonderful observation. And that brings us to another great small talk topic, the weekend. If it's a Monday, you can ask someone, "How was your weekend?" If it's a Friday, you can ask, "Do you have any plans for the weekend?" These are beautiful conversation starters because they invite the other person to share something about their personal life, but in a comfortable, light way.
And I love that these questions work in so many different situations. With a colleague at work, with a neighbor, with someone you see at the gym. They work everywhere.
Absolutely. Other safe topics include talking about the place you are in. If you're at a coffee shop, you can comment on the coffee. "This place has amazing coffee, doesn't it?" If you're at a bookshop, you can comment on a book. If you're at a community event, you can say, "Is this your first time coming to this event?" The environment around you is always a great source of small talk.
And talking about food is also very popular. Everyone eats. Everyone has opinions about food. You can say, "Have you tried the food here? What do you recommend?" And suddenly you have a conversation going.
Perfect. Now, Abel, let us talk about one of my favorite tools for small talk. It is called the Ford method. And I love this because it is so easy to remember.
Oh yes, I use the Ford method all the time now. FORD. It stands for family, occupation, recreation, and dreams. Let me repeat those. Family, occupation, recreation, dreams.
And these 4 topics are considered the best topics for small talk and getting to know someone because they're personal enough to build a real connection, but not so private that they feel uncomfortable.
Let us go through each one. F is for family. You can ask someone simple questions about their family, like, "Are you from this city originally?" Or, "Do you have any brothers or sisters?" Or, "Is your family here or back home?" People love talking about their families, and it helps you understand who they are.
And of course, you want to be sensitive here. Not everyone has a traditional family situation. So keep your questions light and open. Do not assume. Just invite them to share whatever they feel comfortable sharing.
That is a great point. O is for occupation. This means their job or their studies. You can ask, "What do you do for work?" Or, "Are you studying at the moment?" Or, "How long have you been in your job?" People spend so much of their life at work or school, so they usually have a lot to say about it.
And occupation questions are great because they often lead naturally to other questions. If someone says they're a nurse, you might say, "Oh, that must be such rewarding work. What do you enjoy most about it?" And suddenly, you're in a real conversation.
Exactly. R is for recreation. This means hobbies, free time, things people do for fun. You can ask, "What do you like to do on weekends?" Or, "Are you into any sports?" Or, "Do you have any hobbies?" Recreation topics are fantastic because they show a different side of a person.
And they often reveal shared interests. Maybe you both love hiking. Maybe you both watch the same TV show. Finding that shared interest is like finding a little bridge between 2 people. And that bridge is the beginning of a real friendship.
And finally,
D is for dreams. This is the most personal category. You might not use this one with a complete stranger, but once you've been talking for a few minutes and you feel comfortable, you can ask things like, what would you love to do one day? Or is there a place you have always wanted to visit? Or what is something you're really looking forward to?
Dreams questions are powerful because they allow people to share something hopeful and exciting about themselves. And when you ask someone about their dreams, they usually feel very good talking to you because most people do not get asked about their dreams very often.
That is so true, and you feel like the other person really cares about you when they ask you something like that. It's not just polite conversation anymore. It starts to feel like a real human connection.
Connection. That is such a beautiful word. And that's really what all of this is about. We use small talk to build a connection with another human being. Even a small, short connection matters. It makes the world feel warmer and friendlier.
Okay, so now we know some good topics and we have the Ford method. But Anna, what about the actual questions we ask? Because I used to ask questions that sort of killed the conversation. Like I would say, "Did you have a good weekend?" And the person would say, "Yes." And then we would both stand there in silence again.
Oh yes, this is so important. You just described the difference between a closed question and an open question. And this one change can completely transform your conversations.
Tell us more about that, Anna, because I think a lot of people make this mistake.
A closed question is a question that has a short answer, usually yes or no. For example, did you like the movie? The answer is yes or no. The conversation stops there, but an open question invites the other person to think and share more. For example, instead of did you like the movie, you ask, how did you feel about the movie? Or what did you think of the ending? Now the other person has to actually talk. They have to share an opinion. They have to use more words.
And that's where the real conversation begins. When people start sharing opinions, they start to reveal who they really are.
Exactly. Here are some open question starters you can memorize. How do you feel about? What do you think of? What was it like when? How did that happen? What do you enjoy most about? These are all beautiful ways to open the door to a real conversation.
I love the idea of an open door because that's exactly what it feels like. A yes or no question is like a closed door. The conversation hits a wall. But an open question is like opening a window. Fresh air comes in. The conversation can breathe.
And there's one more skill that goes hand in hand with asking great questions, and that's active listening. Because small talk is not a speech, you're not performing, you're having a conversation. And a conversation is like a game of ping pong. The ball has to go back and forth. Both people take turns.
The ping pong metaphor, I love that. Because when only one person is talking, it's not a conversation anymore. It's a lecture, and nobody wants to feel like they're being lectured in a social situation.
Exactly. So active listening means showing the other person that you're really hearing them, not just waiting for your turn to speak. And there are some simple phrases you can use to show that you're listening.
What are some of those phrases, Anna? Because I use them now, but I remember when I first learned them, they felt a little strange. But once I started using them, everything changed.
Great phrases for active listening include, really, said with genuine interest. That sounds interesting. Oh, wow. I had no idea. Tell me more about that. That must have been amazing. And I completely understand.
And the great thing about these phrases is that they do two things at once. First, they show the other person that you are listening. Second, they encourage the other person to keep talking, so you do not have to work as hard. You just listen and respond with these little signals.
And here is a very important cultural note. In English-speaking cultures, good listeners are highly valued. In many cultures, people think that a good conversationalist is someone who talks a lot. But in English-speaking social situations, the person who asks great questions and really listens is often seen as the most interesting person in the room.
That actually surprised me when I first learned it. I thought I needed to be funny or have amazing stories to tell. But actually, just listening carefully and asking good follow-up questions makes people love talking to you.
A follow-up question, let us explain that phrase. A follow-up question is a question you asked based on something the other person just said. It shows that you were listening. For example, if someone says, I went hiking last weekend, a follow-up question would be, oh, where did you go? Or was it your first time hiking there? You're taking what they said and going deeper.
And follow-up questions feel very natural to the other person. They do not feel like an interview. They feel like genuine interest, and that is what builds a real connection.
Now, let us spend a few minutes on something very important for people learning to make small talk in a new culture. Cultural nuance. This means understanding the unwritten rules of what is polite to talk about and what is considered too private.
Because every culture is different, and what is totally normal to ask about in one culture can be quite rude in another culture. When I first came to an English-speaking environment, I asked things that were completely normal in my home culture, but made people uncomfortable here.
And that's a very common experience for many people. So let's go through what is generally considered private in most English-speaking social situations. The first one is money. How much someone earns, how much something costs, how much someone paid for their house. These topics are generally considered very private. Do not ask someone their salary when you first meet them.
I learned that the hard way, as I mentioned earlier. And it's not that money is a taboo topic forever, it's just not a first meeting topic. Once you know someone well and they bring it up themselves, it's fine to discuss.
The second private topic is age. In many English-speaking cultures, it's considered impolite to ask someone their age, especially a woman. This is a cultural thing, and it may feel strange if you come from a culture where age is openly discussed, but it's good to know.
And the third is religion. Asking someone, "What religion are you?" or "Do you believe in God?" can feel very personal and even confrontational to some people. Religion is something that people feel deeply about, and it's not usually a first meeting topic.
And the fourth is politics. In many social situations, especially in the workplace or at a casual party, talking about politics can quickly make things feel tense. People have very strong opinions about politics, and it can lead to arguments rather than friendly connection.
So the general rule is stay with light, positive topics when you first meet someone. As you get to know them better over time, deeper and more personal topics become natural.
And here is a nice way to think about it. Imagine you are walking into a swimming pool. You do not jump straight into the deep end. You start in the shallow end, where it is safe and comfortable, and slowly, as you feel more confident, you move into deeper water. Small talk is the shallow end of conversation, and that is perfectly fine.
That is a wonderful image, Anna. The shallow end of conversation. I love that. And the shallow end is where friendships begin. You do not need to go deep on the first day.
Now, we want to give you a few very practical icebreaker phrases. An icebreaker is a phrase or action that breaks the ice. To break the ice means to do something that makes a new or awkward social situation feel more comfortable. Can you remember that phrase, break the ice?
If you imagine two people standing near each other in a cold, frozen silence, an icebreaker is the thing that cracks that silence open. And sometimes it really does only take one sentence.
Here are some of our favorite English icebreaker phrases. This place is really lovely, isn't it? I love your bag. Where did you get it? Have you been to one of these events before? I cannot believe how warm it is today. Do you know anyone else here? Are you enjoying the event so far?
And notice that all of these are very easy sentences. They're not clever, they're not funny, they're just warm and open. They say to the other person, I am friendly, I am approachable, you can talk to me.
Approachable. That is a great vocabulary word. Approachable means someone is easy and safe to talk to. They seem friendly and open. When you smile and make eye contact and use a relaxed tone of voice, you seem approachable. And approachable people attract more conversation.
And the opposite of approachable is closed off. If you stand with your arms crossed and your eyes on your phone, people will not feel comfortable coming to talk to you. Your body language sends a message before you even open your mouth.
So, small talk is not just about the words, it's about your whole presence. Are you open? Are you warm? Are you curious about the other person? If the answer is yes, that energy will come through and people will naturally want to talk to you.
And you know what I have noticed, Anna? The more I practice small talk, the more I actually enjoy it. Because every conversation is a little mystery. You never know who you are about to meet. The person standing next to you in the supermarket queue might become a great friend. You just have to say hello.
That is so beautifully said, Abel, and it's so true. Some of the most meaningful connections in life start with a very ordinary sentence. Nice day, isn't it? Or, excuse me, is anyone sitting here? Those small moments can change your life.
And for our English learners, we want to say something extra important. Making small talk in a second language is incredibly brave. You're doing something difficult. You're using a language that is not your first language to connect with another human being. That takes real courage.
It does. And please be kind to yourself when you make mistakes. Maybe you use the wrong word, maybe you forget a phrase, maybe you get nervous and your mind goes blank. That is completely normal. Even native speakers have moments like that.
The important thing is to keep trying. Every single conversation, even the short ones, even the imperfect ones, is practice. And practice builds confidence, and confidence builds fluency. It all grows together.
Let's do a quick review of everything we talked about today. First, we talked about the purpose of small talk. It's not about the topic, it's about making someone feel safe and comfortable.
Second, we talked about safe topics for small talk. The weather, the weekend, your current environment, food, and the place you're in.
Third, we learned the Ford method: family, occupation, recreation, and dreams. 4 great topic areas to guide your conversations.
Fourth, we talked about the difference between closed questions and open questions. Closed questions get yes or no answers. Open questions invite the other person to share more.
And fifth, we talked about active listening, using phrases like, "Really? That sounds interesting. Tell me more." Or, "Wow, I had no idea," to show the other person you are truly listening.
And sixth, we covered the exit strategy. How to politely and warmly end a conversation so the other person feels good and the connection is preserved.
And seventh, we talked about cultural nuance, the topics that are generally considered private in English-speaking cultures, like money, age, religion, and politics, especially in first meetings.
That's a lot of really valuable information. And if you're feeling a little overwhelmed, please do not worry. You don't need to learn it all at once. Just pick one thing from today's lesson, maybe just one phrase. Something like, "How was your weekend?" Or, "That sounds interesting," and use it once this week with a real person.
Yes, one phrase, one conversation. That's all it takes to start. And then next week, try 2 phrases, and then 3. Little by little, you'll build a whole toolkit of small talk skills that you can use in any situation.
And remember, the goal is not to be perfect. The goal is to connect. A real, warm, imperfect conversation is 1,000 times better than a perfect silence.
I love that, Abel. A real, warm, imperfect conversation. Let's all remember that.
And we want to hear from you. In the comments section below this video, write one small talk question that you would feel comfortable asking someone. It could be about the weather, or the weekend, or a hobby. Just write one question and we will read them all.
Yes, please leave your questions below. We love reading your comments, and it's also great practice for you. Writing in English is just as important as speaking in English.
And if you enjoyed this lesson, please give this video a thumbs up. It really helps our channel grow, and it helps more English learners find us.
And subscribe to Mr. English Fluent Tutor if you haven't already. We make new videos every week with slow, clear, practical English for daily life. We cover topics like job interviews, making friends, shopping, traveling, and so much more.
We're so glad you joined us today. Remember, every great English speaker started exactly where you are right now. They were nervous, they were unsure, but they kept going. And so can you.
Small talk is a skill, and skills grow with practice. So go out there this week and break the ice. Say hello to someone new. Start with the weather if you need to. Start with one simple question and see where the conversation takes you.
Because you never know, the next person you say hello to might become someone very important in your life, and it all starts with a small conversation.
Thank you so much for being part of the English journey today. We'll see you in the next lesson.
Until then, keep practicing, keep smiling, and keep talking. You are doing amazingly well. Goodbye for now.
Goodbye, everyone. We'll see you very soon.